Welcome back to the PPM Winter Circle podcast. I'm your host, Hunter. To my right is Mr. Rodney.
Hello, folks.
And the black and yellow over there is Mr. Randy.
Hello again.
And, of course, you got the guy in the blue, and he's the cat in the hat, Mr. Ricky.
Here we are once again.
Yes, sir, indeed.
As y'all can tell, we got us another guest here, and who are you?
I'm Andrew Littleton. Thanks for having me on here.
Absolutely, buddy. Glad to have you.
Yes, sir.
So, Mr. Andrew, of course, has his hand in a lot of things in racing. Especially the past year, he's moved direction a little bit and done some things that he's not done before, and we're going to kind of get into that and all of his backstory. So stay tuned, because here we go. So, Mr. Andrew, why don't you tell us a little bit, how'd you get into racing?
Oh, man, honestly, shoot, I was born into it. My dad, was a big-time race with Richard Jones and all them, Marshall Green, all those years ago. And honestly, the day I was born, Daddy came in, gave me a kiss, made sure everything was all right, and went racing. So, I mean, I was at the track next week, I'll be 38 here in a few more days, and I've been in it just ever since. I live, eat, and breathe this sport. I absolutely love it, so. Got my son in it now as well, and he's been the same way. He was at the dirt track the next week after he was born, pretty much, So it's just, that's what we do. He's at the shop right now working, calls him up here, hey, I need this right here. So been in the racing, though, for quite a while, and I've actually, started venturing out and getting on. I've always kind of helped on the back scenes of a lot of these tracks around here, and I've started just kind of venturing off and getting more in depth with it, trying to keep racing alive. Racing in our area, I feel like, is starting to die off as you see these tracks just start whittling down. In the last 10 years, we've lost probably a good handful of tracks, So at the end of the day, my goal is to try to make these things stay alive, do what we can do, help this track, whatever we can do. And that's what I've kind of done, like at my home track here in North Georgia, kind of stepped in there. And a lot of people nowadays don't see how big social media can be. Yeah, it can be negative sometimes, but it's like the old saying goes, good publicity is bad publicity, or bad publicity is good publicity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that does go a long ways, So social media is definitely a key, So that was one of the things I done with North Georgia. I stepped in there. I mean, it's literally 5 minutes from my house, and stepped in there and took over their social media, got them with some marketing, and we put together a really good thing. We got kind of back on the map, It just got it it's kind of like got in there and got it alive and got people excited, and people don't realize, what all goes into that, though. Like, I'm telling you, like, my wife can tell you, she's like, get off that phone, go to bed. It'll be like 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm in there making a promo video or something, just bored, can't sleep. And I'm just like, hold on, no, that ain't going to work, you know what I mean? So there's a lot that just goes behind the scenes that a lot of people do not see what it takes to make a track open up on Saturday night. It ain't just, I feel like a lot of people think you can just go in there and flip a switch and let's go racing. No, it starts on Sundays, because like with North Georgia, I help with the track prep over there quite a bit. We mow the grass. We do a lot over there, but we start literally, if we're racing that Saturday, it starts Sunday on it, And you're working every single day just to make it thing. So when people get on there, they're all going to get on there and have their point of views, but it's like, hey, come on down here. The gate's open. Y'all more welcome to help.
Right. And there toward the end of the season, you had a really successful season promoting for North Georgia. And now you're at Tri County.
Yes, so I kind of stepped away from my role over there. They had some events change over there that I just didn't really agree with, you know what I mean? So I took my kind of, executive order and said, guys, I'm going to step away. And I've actually had 2 tracks really want me to come help them. And Jason Welsham and Jamie Oliver over there, they said, hey, we want you over at Tri County. We need a race director. And I'm like, was like, that's something definitely to take my career on to the next level. You know what I mean? So I was like, let me think on it. We was going back and forth. And so, yeah, I took the role over at Tri County to be the race director over there. You know, I felt like as a veteran racer, you know what I mean, car owner and stuff, I felt like that would be the right move. Because I feel like sometimes they put people in the wrong positions, I guess you can say. Like to me, like on far as when I go like a race director, and when I say that it's about running a show. You know what I mean? For one, we're in the entertainment business, you know what I mean? We don't need to be sitting around and watching cars making 10, 15 laps under caution. We need to be going back racing. Right. So I feel like I can do a pretty good job. We've talked back and forth about how things are run, and I feel like we're on the same page. I mean, one of my idols as a race director was old Larry Payne. He used to be down there at Dixie Speedway. And let me tell you something, that man right there ran a show.
Yeah.
You know, so I've taken that in, you know, a lot of thought, you know, when it goes in that type of stuff, because I've always said, I was like, man, it's sad we lost him last year due to cancer, you know what I mean? And old Big Larry, man, he was just, as a racer, you knew, hey, when he said line up, we're going green, he meant it, you know what I mean? There wasn't none of that, if you fall out, we're going, you know what I mean? So it's awesome to have the opportunity, and let me just tell y'all, Tri County, they're bringing that thing back. That thing looks so good over there. Hats off to Jason Welsham and Jamie Oliver and the entire crew they got working. They got so much help over there. It's just amazing to see the racing world come together to bring something back to life. Because it sat idle for a year and a half, you know what I mean? So, and it looked bad. Like it was, I wouldn't let my grandma go in there and get a hamburger, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But yeah, it's awesome to have the opportunity to go over there. I mean, it's about an hour and a half from the house, you know what I mean? But it's awesome to have the opportunity and to see the work that they're putting in over there just makes it so much better. I mean, they've got a lot of help. I mean, Millwood Plumbing, them guys coming in there, completely redone all the bathrooms in there. The concession stands are, like, I tell you, when people come to the first event on March 22nd, they're going to be like, wow, that's not the same track we came to. You know what I mean? That's the impression we're trying to set over there. You know what I mean? So very excited for that.
So what kind of big events you got planned that you can tell us about?
I tell you, I can't really tell a whole lot. We're not going to leak out a whole lot because we're still trying to finish up. We're working on the Facebook page. That's been a mess trying to get all that back together. You know what I mean? So once we get that off, I can tell you this, though. We've got 24 events scheduled. Got a lot of cool stuff. We're actually bringing in Crown Vics, so that's something everybody's wanted to do. It's kind of a cheap, lower down class, you know what I mean? So speaking of, we bought one, so we will have that thing for rent. So if you're looking to get out there,
have some fun.
Yeah. I mean, you get them guys that's in the grandstands that think they can do it. Well, hey, that's like I told Welsham. I said, hey, $500, they can rent this bad boy. You think you got what it takes? Come out here. You know? I had one at one time. We did at my shop at Wicked Lightning Racing. We had one when Boyd's was doing it, and we rented. And I'm telling y'all, I had a guest list like this, just lined up to race it. We let the Speedway car cams guy come in there and rent it. He probably put on the best show I've ever seen in that thing. I'm talking about he was hanging out like Dale, you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's a great idea. It is a good idea.
It's really cool, though. It is. Like, I think it's an awesome class. I feel like it, I mean, I think they're racing for like $100,000 or something coming up. You know what I mean? That's insane. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, Mama, if you see your Crown Vic gone, we'll have it back.
100,000. Woo.
Dude, XR's putting on some heck of races. Like, goodness. I mean, they just come off the 100,000 604 race. They have a 50,000 602 race this year. Now that one. Like it.
Well, didn't they had a street stock race before that?
Yeah, and it's 100,000.
It's 100,000.
Yeah.
So.
They're putting big money out there.
It's insane to see that kind of money. I know, like with us over, we've got some really good events, you know, spread out. Like I know we've got some bigger pay-in front-wheel drive races. That's not like I think they've only got 2 big super shows, so everything else is pretty much like you're just taking care of your local stuff. You know, that's one of our biggest things is to take care of these local guys. You know what I mean? Like, honestly, the front wheel drive class, love or hate them big guys, they bring in the
They
money
pay
to
the
track.
purse.
They pay the purse. Like, everybody.
Honestly.
I had some people, like when I was with North Georgia over there, it's like, oh, you need to cut that class. I'm like, guys, the front wheel drive is what pays the power bill, keeps the lights on this place.
That's
You know
okay.
what I mean? So,
Are you running every week?
no. So what we're doing over there, we are running vice versa with Sugar Creek. So we're alternating with Sugar Creek. We do have some Friday night shows as well. You know what I mean? And actually, some of the shows, like we'll race a Friday night over here, go say either North Georgia or Sugar Creek, because they're kind of the sister tracks. You know what I mean? So I think 24 events, you know, spread out from starting in March 22nd going to November, you know, so it's a pretty good little schedule. Awesome to see, no doubt, you know, I mean, and like what people don't realize is you're going to have them rain dates, so we put them extra. We're not guaranteed 24 races, but hey, we've got them on schedule, you know, we're going to try our best to.
Right.
No. How old are you?
I'll be 38 here in just a few days.
Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you.
So how far is Tri County from Sugar Creek? Or
So from Sugar Creek, it's about 35 minutes. So like where Sugar Creek's at, it's right up there close to the North Carolina line. So you pretty much just go right on up 515 a little bit. And
I've had some people ask me, because you talk to a lot of people that's been to Sugar Creek in the last few years that hadn't been to Tri County, and they asked me, where's Tri County from Sugar Creek? And I said, well, it ain't about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
They're right over there together. But
a lot of people know Tri County because they got that big casino over there in Murphy. You know what I mean? So
are your rules matching up as far as Sugar Creek?
yes. So that was one. So like me last year, that was one of my biggest things I tried to work with. Of course, though, you know, on your local tracks, you're going to have some that you have to kind of bend a little bit because you've got, say, if you've got 10 cars, it's all on them same things or whatever. Some track, but we tried to make it to where everybody could come. Like, you're not wanting to just say, well, we can't come because of a certain rule. Pretty much, I mean, I know I work closely with I-75 and Sugar Creek, and me and Welsham work together on that stuff. Tried to, I think Dixie's even going to kind of do some of the same stuff. Fort Payne over. I was trying to, my whole goal when I was working on that stuff was to get everybody kind of on the same page. Like, I preach this all the time. We've got way too many late model classes. Like, if you guys go up north, I preach this all the time. I've done it on my podcast before as well. If you go up north, they've got 2 late model classes. They've got late model with 2 weights on it. That's it. You know what I mean? And you've got, now they started doing a crate deal, you know what I mean? But it's 602 and 602. They don't separate them, you know? And I try to preach this to these people down here all the time. I'm like, guys, y'all don't realize how lucky we are. Like, these tracks race more classes, separate them to try to help y'all out. But at the end of the day, what people don't understand is that payout. I mean, you got 9 different payouts, you know what I mean? Like, it would be so easy to have just 4 payouts, you know what I mean? And you could pay better, but that's just something I guess we've created down here in the South that we have to work with.
That's what they have up there. I mean, 4 or 5 classes is it, and
I think 5 is the max.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it literally, and I preach this all the time. I'm like, guys, y'all don't realize, because we wanted to go up there and run in Ohio and stuff. And I'm like, well, hey, we got this crate. And I said, bud, we got a late model. I see it. And I'm like, what? I was like, okay.
How many classes you running?
So I think they ended up with 6 classes with Tri County. So that's pretty much, you got late model, 604, 602, front wheel drive, street stock, and Crown Vic is what it is. So
Have you ever thought about the idea of taking the late model class and making a class maybe look different from the rest? Because that's one of the things I hear from just regular fans.
yes.
They'll say, well, how do you, and like my wife, she says, well, how do you know which one's this class and this? They all look the same.
It's very hard. Y'all remember back, like, what am I going to say, what was it, 8-10 years ago when the 604s used to run a 12-inch spoiler? You know, like, to me, like, I kind of sit here and think, where did that go? Because that was one way you could tell a difference. You know what I mean? Now you got the topless outlaw stuff that comes in, which I think's an awesome deal because, yeah, let them run topless where you got a little bit of a difference to where you can tell. But it's crazy you say that, though, because me and Welshon was just talking about this last night. We was like, hey, you know, there's so many of these older GRTs and Warrior cars. Like, why don't we, because, like, for instance, let me just say the street stock. The street stock class, people does not realize, but the problem that we have in street stock now is there's like 4 or 5 different kinds of street stocks. There's not a true, to me, when I look back at a street stock, I like the old Camaro style. You know, that's a street stock.
That's a street stock.
That's the problem right here at these tracks. Every one of the street stock rules are different.
They're different. So you can't. So what I kind of figured out when I was working on the rules for North Georgia, matter of fact, was like there's no happy medium. Like there's just no. Everybody wants a street stock class, and we do too, because I actually love them. But it's like when you've got 4 or 5 different styles, how do you determine what is the best to go with? So I don't know. We was talking about this last night. I was like, man, why don't we just take these older chassis? You can't raise the cross member, nothing like that. Put a square body on them like a street stock. Make them have a street stock nose, and boom, there you go. There's your street stock. You know what I mean? But then again, it's like I told him. I said the only problem though is you're creating another class. You know what I mean? It's like there's just no, like all honesty, there's no happy medium to my opinion, for a street stock class.
Well, in my opinion, that is one class that is needed.
Yes, and it is very neat.
But it needs to be sorted out what that class is.
See, the biggest thing we deal with is
Exactly.
like these Neesmith street stocks. These guys are spending $40,000 and $50,000 on a street stock. And I'm like, that's not a street stock, guys. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not a street stock. So it's like, yes, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah.
We need street stock because they put on a really good race. I love seeing it. Matter of fact, when I started out, when I was 14 years old, I started out in a Ford Thunderbird. You know what I mean? But it was literally a Ford Thunderbird. I mean, had a 351 Cleveland, and I was just
Some of your best racing.
so, yeah. I'll never forget when I first got in open motor modified, power steering. I looked like a Jeffy out there fighting because I was used to that old steering box, you know. But yeah, I'm all for it. Like I want street stock, but it's just trying to, like we posted, like Jason posted the rule. It was just like constantly just, well, you need this, you need that. It's like I told, I said, heck, open it up, let them all come, I guess. You know? It's like,
Just weigh this and come on.
Yeah, it's just like, if it's a street stock, run it, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like at the end of the day, like how do you police it? How do you make it right? Because at the end of the day, as a track, you want the biggest car count you can get. You definitely don't. And this is what people don't understand though too is like, for instance, over at Sugar Creek, because like they separated. They had a street stock and a strictly stock. Well, I had people going back for. Well, what people don't realize is when you pull up my race pass, which is honestly the best thing that's happened in dirt racing, I feel like, when you pull it up and you go back and look at the metrics on it, it's like, guys, you had 3 to 5 strictly stocks, and then you had like 6 or 7 street stocks. So it's like, why are we running 2? Just run them together. We can actually get halfway decent, you know, amount. They get so mad when you say that. It's like, they just, I don't know. At the end of the day, they don't see it that way. And it's like, nobody really wants to go and watch 3 cars out hot lapping for a feature, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, on a racetrack perspective, you're trying to do what you can to get a full class to have.
You are,
You know what I mean? Back in the 90s, when my daddy and them was racing, shoot. I remember Dad telling stories, you know, you'd had to race your way into a B main on a regular night. And it's like, but they also only had, what, 4 or 5 classes, though, too. You know what I mean? So.
When Wartburg first opened back up there years ago, which this is way back, you remember all the street?
Had two street stock features.
I think one night up there they may have had 50 or 60 cars.
Yeah.
The late models was all steel blocks. Back in, you know, a lot of it was just all steel blocks.
Still, yeah.
But you had four, like
But you
four
had some that
different
had
motor rules.
aluminum-headed motors.
Yeah.
And it's all different weight rules.
Yeah. That's kind of what we did, like with our late model class in North Georgia when we built it, was you could run all in the motors. You know what I mean? Like everybody, like kind of went off of the Southern Nationals deal. You know, giving them a 12-inch side and stuff like that. I felt it was good because, like in my perspective, you can go out and buy a used open motor now, cheaper than you can buy a new crate motor for. You know what I mean? So there's so many of those floating out there. So you look out for those smaller teams that's buying these motors, but it's getting to where they can't go race no more. They ain't got enough track. None of these tracks are running open motors. So like when we throw open motors in, I got this as like, I'm like, guys, look, you're not going to have Jonathan Davenport come race at a local show. You know what I mean? You're not going to have Ricky Thornton or nobody like that. Nobody's going to come race a local show because like they got mad as like, cause we called it late model. It's like, it's just late model. If we said super late model, then you're going to draw in. But no, we're just racing late model, guys. Like, there's a lot of no happy medium when it comes to that stuff. The biggest thing that I looked out for though was from my tech guys. Mm-hmm. The less they had to worry about, like we did, like if you did like some of these tracks, you'll see that they'll have like 9, 10 different weights, and it's like, oh my goodness, like why not just have 2 to maybe 3 max weights per class? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And let's roll. Like instead, a lot of them don't see that part of it. It's like it's just easy. The less you can shim that down, easier, you know, because tech guys are hard to find nowadays.
Yeah.
They are good. They are hard to find. So if you can make it easier on them, let's do it. You know what I mean? So
So you said your first race is March the 22nd?
Yes. So the first race, March 22nd, we kick off. We've got 2 practice events. So we got a March 1st will be the first practice. And matter of fact, I just got on the way up here, they just finished the fence. So we are 100% ready for our first practice. March 1st will be it, and then they're going to do another one on March 15th, I think it is. So March 15th, which is also the opening race for North Georgia Speedway as well. So, you know, good racing there. And I think you got the World of Outlaws at Smoky Mountain on the 15th. So a lot of good racing going on in March. But our first race will be March 22nd, and really looking forward to it. I think we're going to have a packed house. Like, there's just a lot of vibes. Hopefully we can get this Facebook thing going. We got Ben Shelton with My Race Pass, so they built a whole new website for us. So once we get that kicked off, it's going to be awesome though too. So
what are you looking at far-wise as, I mean, if you know, I know you're kind of trying to get it together as we speak, but what kind of prizes are you looking for to get in the grandstands and into the pits or tier parking?
I'm not quite sure. I'm not really on that side of the things. I haven't really heard a little bit. I'd hate to even say a number because, you know, if I said something, that's what they'd be going by.
Jason ain't going to be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not quite sure on that. I know it's going to be good prices, though. You know what I mean?
He's just on the side of getting chewed out.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm that guy. You know, it's just that fair.
I got you.
Yeah. So they go to Jason. He goes,
yeah, go
and talk to Andrew.
Yeah, talk to him first. Oh. Yeah, that's one thing I look forward to. Let me tell you. Man, why'd you make that call? I don't know.
Well, you've been on the other side of it, ain't you? So
Experience
on the other side helps on the other
Exactly.
side. Jason ain't here to finish this, so I'll say this is better than them going to Jason.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you. That's what I'll do. I don't know. Go talk to Jason over. Well, he told me to come to you. I don't know. You better talk to
Jason. I'll talk to him.
Oh, we did say this, though. This is one thing we was talking about. We're going to put a doggone boxing ring right there in the front of it. And if these guys think they want to fight, you're going to do it right here. If you ain't going to do it right here, then just go back to your trailer, pack your stuff.
That's
we'll
what
see
they
you
used
next
to say over at Charlotte. Remember the drivers' meeting?
Yeah.
What was it? I can't think of his name. He thought he told
If you
him.
go to jail if you fight in the pits, but if you're on the front straightaway,
You're good.
I think it's $100 for each.
Yeah, you can get $100.
Hey,
He said at the drivers' meeting, I was like,
well, it's like the guys that with the chili bowl, whatever does that. You know what I mean? That's like we said. Jason, though, he said, I'm going to tell them they either going to do it right here, or if they go back and they start smart, they're out of here. You know what I mean? That's it. You're suspended for a week. And I'm like, I'm down. Let's go. You want me to race direct that too?
You just hear out from
Cheater.
the speakers.
Yeah. Honestly, it's like
come to a fight and a race broke out.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. you know, you're going to have those. Every racetrack, you're going to have those. But, like, I'm all for it. If it's right there in front of the fans and we're putting on a show for them, hey, let's go.
You can't control it.
You can't control it. They're going to do it.
You just picked up 100 people.
Yeah. You know, it's like these guys, they'll get out of their car and they'll throw their doggone MPI, doggone $200 steering wheel. I'm like, screw that. Get their helmet, throw their helmet out there. I'm like,
You got that guy, you just now looked over at his boss and said, hey, we're going to go out there 20 seconds. You never know. You don't know what might happen.
yeah. Oh, we look forward to it, though.
If you ain't passionate about it, why are you there?
That's
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So speaking of, though, as far as fans, you know, not only we got complete new bathrooms, but all of our bleachers are all new too as well. So Jason and them lucked up in some school up here in Tennessee. Everything is all aluminum bleachers now. So no more wood, you know, and that's what I was telling them. I said, guys, that's a huge score. Your maintenance is like zero. Mother Nature can wash them things off. You know what I mean?
I seen that on Jason's social media, and
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is like a very must. Like if you can ever, any of these tracks, if you can ever come up with that, that is a must because cleaning wise, you ain't got to worry about like, this is one thing I've noticed though too is like with Tri County, they don't have a fire marshal. So in Georgia, you have to have the fire marshal come out and they nitpick every single little thing. They make it hard on a track to open nowadays. Like it's just crazy. Up there, health inspector. I was like, what? I was like, sweet.
Yeah.
New kitchens, we're good. You know, I mean, we ain't got to worry about nothing now. So,
As long as nobody don't get food poisoning, you're good.
yeah, as long as we don't get that, we're
I
good.
know I like that part of the country for some reason.
That's one thing we're going to have is some good food, though. They've got the hookup, I think, with performance food groups and stuff like
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
we're going to have some good food. We've got Pepsi coming on, so that's something else. I mean, a lot of people wanted Coke, but hey, we got Pepsi, you know, so looking forward to that as well.
That's called Mountain Dew. So.
That's Mountain Dew, baby. That's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah. So it sounds like you got everything coming together. Yeah.
It ain't me, it's them. Them guys over there really
you
do
are,
it. I mean, it's a one heck of a team. Like, it's just, I'm actually going to go over there in the morning and help out some more. We redoing my construction company. We went over there and we've helped out quite a bit. But, man, it's just the outpour of help that's came over there is just amazing to see them doing what they're doing because, like, if they didn't have that, there's no way they could be having that first practice. Like, they have literally put a team together. They got a lot of I forgot about that as well. They got the LED lights from Boyd Speedway.
Yeah, I knew
So that place is lit up like it lights up really good. They've got the sound system from Boyd Speedway. So, I mean, you'll definitely be able to hear the announcer over there. I mean, like, just every single thing has just went together, like, just piece by piece. And just, it's not the same old girl when you pull in there in 2025 on March 22nd.
Jason told me, he said, you can hear it plumb down the road.
The neighbors probably ain't going to be happy. Oh, like it is. I don't know if you ever went to Boys, but back when Boys, when they put that system in, it was definitely loud. You know what I mean? And like, it's awesome to see it over there. I mean, even though we've lost Boys, which is very sad, but it's also good to see. Kind of the same way, I guess, with Mountain View. You've seen a lot of stuff come from Cleveland up to there. Well, kind of the same thing over there. All the fence that was around the track is up at Tri County. So it's kind of cool to see all that. And like I said, the lights, that was definitely one thing that old girl over there suffered with was the lighting, you know what I mean? So if you don't know where Tri County is, it's up in the mountains. Yeah.
Go to Brasstown and ask somebody. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Well, what's crazy is, so we was having to stop the old guy down there at the store. A lot of these people just didn't even know they was racing or even a track up there. And I'm like, yeah, you know, the track is, oh, I didn't know. I was like, oh, man. Well, now you know. Come on up. You know,
Be surprised how many racetracks are that way. If you've never been there, and if there wasn't a sign on the very side of the road, you would drive right by there and not even know there's a racetrack there.
That's the bad thing. There's no sign. I told Welsh,
Well,
I said,
there was a sign when I was there.
They took it down, I guess. I was like, we got to get some signs because, like, there's none up here. Well, as we speak on that, what's crazy is I was on the marketing side with North Georgia, and you wouldn't believe. This is why I say like social media and marketing is so important nowadays, because you wouldn't believe the people that didn't even know there was a racetrack in their hometown. They lived there, and I'm like, you mean to tell me you did not know this track was here? Oh no, I didn't know it. But hey, we want to go.
Yeah.
Well, hey, here's your free pit pass, or here's your free grandstand, pass. You know what I mean? If you give them one and they bring three, hey, you've scored. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's the type of marketing that a lot of these tracks miss on, I feel like, you know what I mean? Up north, I feel like them guys up there absolutely kill it. Like, they do some awesome marketing. They have huge crowds, and everybody around here is like, the fan count's died. It has. It's just because we're not doing our job right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Well, you think you can't do this, but just look up Williams Grove sometime, and look what they pay their 2 sprint car classes every week.
have you seen some of the prices, like for the crate guys?
Yeah.
$500 a win, and they got like 30 cars up there. And I'm like, we're down here paying $1,200 to win, and these guys are dropping down here, and I'm sitting there thinking, these guys are racing for $500.
I've got a good friend up there that built a modified, because he brought modifieds in up there and was playing well, and then they quit paying them.
Yep.
And now everybody's selling them. So
Yeah.
it's a fine line of what a racetrack can do and can't do. And like we were talking about earlier, you get too many car towns, too many classes, and you can't afford it.
You can't afford it, yeah. I know, for instance, on the backside of, I know some of our payouts, even with North Georgia, would be like $20,000 to $30,000 a night, just on a regular night. You know, so you go in and you're like, okay, I just brought in $50,000 and $30,000 in payout. I got $5,000 in employee payout, and it's like it just starts whittling down. You know what I mean? It's just like people think you're getting rich, but you're not. You know, like you're trying to pay these guys more, but at the end of the day, we've got too many of them. If we can eliminate some of these things and maybe separate them, but it's hard to do that though too, because we tried that last year with like the street stocks and the pony car guys. It just did not work out. Like it was, if it got rained out, then it's like, well, shoot, it's their turn, but they're wanting in. It's like, what do you do here? Well, this ain't fair. We ain't got the race done.
Yeah.
I mean, we're selling out. Come on, they make you feel bad sometimes. You want to keep them going, but what do you do at the end of the day? It's
Right.
I feel though, if we could eliminate some of these late model classes and like get them down, like for instance, up here in Tennessee, they run a lot of sportsman classes, which I think is cool. I feel like down below that, we've got 604 late model, 602. They keep them all separated. Beginner down there, you know what I mean? Which I think that was one thing we did take away. We took away the beginner class. It was just getting to be too much of a hectic to keep up with. You get guys dropping down, and it's like guys that's paying $100. You know what I mean?
Well, Mr. Andrew, buddy, tell us and everybody else, who do you thank for everything? Like, who all do you want to thank for what you've done before and what you're up to now?
First off, I got to thank the good Lord, you know what I mean, for giving me the breath of air every day to wake up and do this. Most definitely, I got to thank my dad, though. My dad is my biggest hero. He's my biggest motivator. I mean, he works his tail off. Honestly, just there's so many people in the racing world, man. I don't think I could name them all. You know, just thankful. But thankful most definitely for David Ridley for giving me the opportunity to step in and go in behind the scenes over there and grow that more. Definitely got to give Jason Welsham a big shout out for believing in me. Giving me the opportunity to go in and kind of advance my career even more. My wife, especially she supports everything I do. I honestly don't know how she stays with me, because I'm never hardly at home or we're in the shop. You know what I mean? So definitely a big shout out to my wife. She's my backbone. She's a nurse. She works a crazy job, and I definitely could not do what she does. And then my son, he pushes me every day.
Yeah.
I push him, and he pushes me just as harder. You know what I mean?
How old is he now?
He'll be 15 in March.
Yeah.
Be 15 in March. So he's starting out this year full blown in the Topless Outlaw Series. So kind of excited to see how he goes with that, man. He's just he's definitely better than his pops. I can say that he's good behind the wheel. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's awesome to see it, just to be able to be the dad and give him the opportunity. You know what I mean? So. It's awesome. But, I mean, just thank y'all, too, for even having me on here, too, as
Absolutely.
well.
Glad to have
We
you.
appreciate you
Hey,
coming down and doing this.
We
Coming
appreciate the awesome products. I mean, y'all keep all of us racers going, you know what I mean? So I just got to give a shout out to that gray. Let me just tell y'all, that gray, oh, man, that's awesome. I love that color. But y'all guys, man, y'all put in a lot of work, and y'all don't realize what y'all do for the racing industry. It's what it takes. It takes all of us. It's all one big team, one big family. You know what I mean? So, thank y'all.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you. Yep.
But guys, that's where we're going to kick it off here. End it here. Sorry, not kick it off. We kicked it off about 30 minutes ago. But
Andrew's like, we're doing it again.
Start over. Okay.
yeah, we've been recording. But yeah, I want to thank Andrew here for coming up and doing this and giving us a piece of history on him and what he's fixing to come into at Tri County. Glad to hear it's
Don't forget March 22nd.
March 22nd. And keep an eye out. You obviously ain't going to find it right now because they're still working on it, but keep an eye out for the new Tri County Facebook page and their website to keep up to date with all their scheduling and all the information and updates that they give. As soon as they get that up, I'm sure y'all will see it. It'll get flooded on your news feed.
Yes, most definitely. And if you're looking for anything, you can go straight over to Jason Wilson's page. He is posting pretty much everything over there on his personal page right now between him and Jamie Oliver's wife, Christy. So all your rules, all that stuff's over there. Just go over there and give him a like, follow, and stay up to date until we get this page going. Then we're going to blow it up.
It's already listed on My Race Pass, or you know?
They've not kicked it off yet.
Okay.
It's sitting there. They're just waiting for they're actually waiting for the Facebook page. Once we get that, that's what they're only just waiting for that. It's every day we're like, all right, we good. It's like you get a setback. So it's
That
just
Facebook stuff. we went through that.
yeah, it's aggravating. We've inherited the page, you know what I mean, but it's trying to get all the stuff over, and it's like, oh man. Because the worst thing you can do is have to start completely over. Like the page we've got, it's got like 40,000 followers. So it's like, okay, you know what I mean? They've lost the email or something like that. It's like every day it's something different. It's like, oh, man. But we will have it soon.
Good. So make sure that y'all follow Jason Welshon or Jamie Oliver's wife for the rules and all the updates from Tri County until all of that kicks off.
One last thing. TikTok.
There you go.
Updates going on over every day of the track progress. So you can see it live on TikTok at Tri County as well. So
TikTok. I know every one of you's got it.
yeah, everybody's
Check it
got
out.
yeah.
How is it, Rodney?
What?
How is it?
What do you mean? TikTok?
What the way Jason does it?
Hey, TikTok!
TikTokers!
I just had to throw
We
that
love
in
you,
there.
Jason. Right? We love
That's
Jason.
right. Oh, yeah.
And we want to, again, thank Andrew for doing this. I want to personally thank the brothers here for allowing this stuff to happen, that we can sit here and record and do this thing and pop this off to y'all. I want to thank Devin. He's the IT guy, graphics guy, does the Facebook, all that stuff, video editing. I want to give him a big thank you. Without all of, like it's been said here multiple times this session, none of this is possible without a team, especially the team in the pits with you. You couldn't race without your team. So make sure you thank them and let them know that what they're able to do, what you're able to do, what you do because of them.
Right.
And again, we wouldn't be able to sit here in this room if it wasn't for you guys watching. I know a lot of y'all buy our products and buy from us, and if y'all didn't do that, we wouldn't be in this building being able to do this.
That's right.
And of course, like Andrew and these guys say all the time, I want to thank God as well.
That's right.
So, guys, thank y'all for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed this one. Comment down below if you want to see who else you want to see on the podcast next. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
Hit that button.
Hit that
There you
button.
go. That's what I like to hear.
Like it and share it as well. You know what I mean? So,
And want to thank you guys. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. For any of all of your racing product needs, go to ppmracingproducts.com. Order anything you need from us, or if you want to get tech help, or order over the phone, call us at 865-354-9669. And guys, we will see y'all in the next one. Thank you.
Hey, subscribe, like.
Hit that button.
Come on, get it up on the well. Go in there. You just smell poop or see Jesus. Let's get it done.